Our neighborhoods, our streets, very public places. What happens inside our homes is invisible to the outside world. A house can be our refuge and hold our darkest secrets. For Charles Frary, Chuck to his friends and family, his home at the corner of West 50th and Tennyson was perhaps his sanctuary and his prison, then his coffin.
A body was found inside a home.
In his own
Conditions
home.
in the home were so unsanitary.
They consider his death suspicious at this point.
Of course I was sad. I've been sad. I mean, the whole thing is heartbreaking.
I have one good memory of my dad, and that's when we were sitting on the side of a mountain. We'd just been hunting all morning. The sun finally was getting to where we're not freezing to death, you know. We were cracking jokes and he was smiling, and then that memory fades away and it's all bad after that. That's all I have.
Chuck's 4 kids describe their upbringing with their father as harsh and confusing as they watched their dad descend into the grips of mental illness. In the 1980s, he became abusive and reclusive. Held hostage by his own mind, Chuck began amassing a secret in his home.
I went to a counselor with him at one time because he had asked me to go, and he had ADHD, he had the hoarding, anxiety, depression.
OCD.
They tried to work with him and throw a piece of paper away in the garbage, and he got really, really bad anxiety, and he couldn't do it.
Chuck was an extreme hoarder, possibly one of Denver's worst.
When we first went in, I was in shock. I was like, I can't believe he didn't come to one of us and say, hey man, you know, help me, or, you know, I mean, any one of us would have took him in a second if we knew he was living like that.
He really pushed you guys away from him.
His hoarding was more important than us.
How did this bright young man, once happy, married, a science teacher, end up lost in his own home? The fact Chuck may have been dead in his home for more than a year before he was finally found is perhaps a testament to the value placed on people like Chuck, an older man with mental illness who became a ghost long before he died, even to his neighbors.
He didn't really talk to anybody on the street then.
No, not at all. You know, that one conversation, that singular conversation I had with him walking up the street was a pleasant interlude in a pretty reclusive guy's life, I guess.
And this was like the one time you spoke with him, like,
right.
Like what, 15 years and living here?
I've lived here 15 years.
This brings us to February of 2017, when a stranger tracked down one of Chuck's kids, warning Chuck may be in danger.
He knocked on the door at like 9 o'clock at night, which is weird, but he just said he was a neighbor of my dad's, and they haven't seen him in months, so he thought thought he was missing.
I think he told you that he thought he was dead in the house, didn't he?
Oh, that's right. He did say that, and that's what made us call the cops.
Going back to where they say they found him, we all stood right there. It's kind of the first spot we went to. We go there and we look, and it's like, well, he's not here, and then we started searching everywhere else.
And we were all still convinced, like, well, he's not here, so where is he? Maybe he's got dementia and he's walking the streets, or, you know, maybe he's in a hospital.
He wasn't there when we searched. If he was buried, 100% completely buried, which seems hard for me to believe that there would have been no evidence.
Over the next year, dispatch records tell us Denver police visited Chuck's home 6 times, never seen any signs of life or death.
There's just been so many weird things with this whole case. Why did it take so long to find him? What happened to him? How did he die?
Yeah, the autopsy report came back as unknown. You know, we had searched the house a year ago and didn't find anything. Apparently they go in and now they found a body.
383 days after police were first warned about Chuck, his remains were discovered in his own living room in his home. What took so long?
Did police do everything they could to find Chuck?
I believe we did, based on the information that we had. I don't think that anything we could have done differently would have changed the outcome.